videos. In this video, we are going to configure our controllers. We are going to add the roots enterprise root certificate to the vManage, and after that we will start onboarding the vManage first. Then we will add the vSmart and the vBond. So we will generate the CSR, issue the certificate, install the certificate. So this is my vManage. I will just log out from here because I will log in via my certificate authority, which is my Windows server simply. So now I will log in into my vManage in my server. So I will say that HTTPS 150.1.7.21. Okay. And also I will turn on sysable.com.au/cert-rv. This is my certificate authority. And this is where you see that I can request a new certificate and you select the different templates, and this is where I will download my certificate authority. So first thing first, I will first download the certificate authority. Click on certificate authority, select base 64 download CA certificate, click on keep. Once downloaded, let's go back to the download. I will rename it as a root CA so that it will be easy to understand. Now let's go back to our vManage, log in into the vManage. So as we said that the controllers will be, certificates will be issued by our own certificate authority, and the remaining will be, branches will be automated by the vManage. So go to configuration and go to certificates and go to controllers, and you should see that vManage. So before that, we need to first make sure that vManage accept or trust our root certificate authority. So I'll go to configuration and I will go to not configuration, administrator, go to the settings, and in here I will go to the controller certificate authorization and I will change it to enterprise root. Click on proceed and select the file, select all format, select the root CA, click on open, click on save. So in this way now my certificate authority is, we set to the vManage that for the controllers, our own certificate authority will be issuing the certificate. Okay. So let's go back to the configuration and to the device controller. So by default vManage is added. That's good. Let's go back to the configuration and certificate. Click on controllers and now click on three dots, select view CSR. So by default vManage will not generate its own CSR, so we have to generate that is view CSR or generate CSR. It should now generate its own CSR. Select that whole thing, copy it. Let's go back to your certificate authority, request a certificate, advance, paste it over here, select web server as a template, click on submit, select base 64, click on download certificate, click on keep, go back to the downloads, right click and say this one is for the vManage VMG, and go back to the vManage, click on close, select install certificate, select the file, select all formats, select vManage and click on open, click on install. So now it should, vManage should install its own certificate now. So just give it a, it's already been installed, that's good. So let's go back to configuration, let's go to the devices, let's go to the controllers. So now you can see that its site ID is 200, it's in the CLI mode and it's in a sync and certificate is installed, that's good. Now let's click on add controller, select vSmart, transport IP address that is 20.1.1.2, that is a tunnel IP address, that's what we have to give. Username will be admin, password will be admin. So by default we are using TTLS connection. If you like you can go with TLS, but TTLS is much preferred, and automatically we are saying to vManage to generate the CSR. Click on add. Similarly, let's go to the vBond now. So in this one we will say 20.1.1.3, we will say admin and admin as a password, and there is no option for DTLS or TLS. We just generate CSR, and we want the port number will be 12346. It will, all the devices will connect to VBond on that particular port. Click on add. So once everything is added, let's go to the configuration and certificate, because we are going to manually install the certificate, issue and install. So click on controller. Let's go to the vSmart, click on view CSR, copy the CSR, request a certificate, advance, paste it, go to the web server, submit it, paste 64, select download, click on keep. Let's go back to the downloads, right click, and we will say that this one is vSmart. And let's go back to the vManage. Click on install certificate, click on select a file, select all formats, select vSmart, and click on open, install. Second, while installing, you can just go ahead, go to the configuration certificate controller and do the same thing for vManage. You don't need to wait for it. Control copy. And if you want to see the status, click on this one. You see that there are no active, but if you go to completed one, you see that it's already been completed. So that's all good. So let's go to the certificate authority, request the certificate, select the template and submit. Base encode 64, download certificate and keep, and right click. We will say this one is vBond, VBD, and let's go to the vManage, install the certificate, select a file, all files, select vBond, click on open, click on install. So now it automatically detect the CSR and the certificate, so it will install to their respective controllers. You don't have to select and install it like the 1920 versions. By 20.6, you just need to install it simply. All right, that's all done. So let's go back to the configuration certificate controller, and you see that important thing is that you should see the CLI, you should see the system IP, and you should see the status as sync, edge list status as sync. Okay, so all the three should be in sync. So if I go back to configuration and the device list, and if I go to controller, you see that all of them are in the sync status and certificates have been installed. All right, so at this moment, my controllers are good to be configured. That's all good. The one last final piece is that my certificate authority, which has the root CA certificate. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to save this root certificate inside the vManage itself, so that you can shut down the certificate authority, because we do not require it anymore, because there are no more controllers, no more issuing of certificates. We just copy this root certificate in the vManage itself, and so that we can install it. I will show you the process, the easy way to install, copy this, download this certificate, root CA certificate in this particular vEdges, and install it and start doing the provisioning. So what I will do is that I will do one last thing, that is uh, copying the root CS certificate. Click on open with notepad, open, copy the whole certificate. Going to the vManage, and I will log in into vManage CLI. Now, since this is a Linux based system, so this will be vshell. So it will give you access to the Linux commands. So if I say ls, you will see the files, and if you see pwd, you will see the directory of that one. So I will say vi.rootca.pem. You can write any extension, that's fine. Press enter, press I, and press paste, press escape, colon, X, exclamatory marks, so this will save. So you see that once I paste that one, it is coming only half screen. So I will just close the session and restart the session. And now if I say ls and if I say cat rootca.pem and I should see that certificate. So my root certificate is being installed, so I don't have any necessity to keep my certificate authority on now. So I will just go ahead, sign out, close this one, and shut down my server. That's it. So my controllers are up and running. That's all good. Now we are ready to move with our branch devices. So I hope this was informative for you, and thank you.